Welcome back to Call of Duty Vanguard. In this video, I want to talk to you about a few things, but the major topic is, well, there's actually a couple of big ones, and then there are some smaller ones that I want to talk about. So one of the big ones, and just to quickly get my opinion out there, is I have read, I don't know if any of this is 100% accurate besides my community post, but if it is, then I'm putting my opinions out there based on it. I'm reading all of this from Gaming Bible, so a lot of people will know they're not always 100% accurate, but it is what it is. It's just opinions, and I'm not saying I'm not looking forward to the game, or I'm looking forward to the game or anything, just this is simply opinions that I'm putting out there. I have heard from this that Call of Duty players from Warzone that have been cheating will possibly be banned from playing Call of Duty Vanguard. I do not agree with that at all. I cannot stand cheaters. I'm not a PvP cheater myself. If it's PvE stuff, yeah, I'll jump in, use some mods, all that sort of stuff, use trainers. Only when it's PvE and it's not affecting anyone else's experience. When it comes to PvP, I say ban them all. And I mean proper ban to the point where they cannot play again unless they were to move house. IP ban them. But in terms of Warzone, you have Warzone cheaters. Yeah, they're probably going to go over to Vanguard and start cheating there. Vanguard's had a lot of cheaters in the beta, but I do not agree with people that are cheating on Warzone being banned on Vanguard purely because Warzone is free to play. Vanguard, if you're buying the Ultimate Edition of the game, will cost you £100. So if you've been banned off Warzone, and this does go through, but you don't have any idea, and you've been cheating on Warzone, you could have a ban on Vanguard. So you go out, the cheater or not, you go out, you spend £100 on the biggest edition of the game, and from day dot, you are not allowed to play. I don't think that is fair. If they are going to do this, they need to tell players, even if they're cheaters, scummy players, ruining PvP experiences, they need to be told you are not allowed to play Vanguard, because then at the end of the day everyone is human that's playing these games. They're using bots and stuff, but they are human, they're people. So I don't think it's fair for some people to go out, spend money on something and not be able to play it because of stuff they've done in a previous game or a different game. So I totally agree, if they're cheating, ban them, but I feel they need to tell them you are not allowed to play this, so they don't go spending their money on a product that they're not actually allowed to play. At the end of the day, they're cheating. Yes, they deserve to be punished, but not when they're spending more money and they don't have any idea that they're going to be punished. As I said, I don't know if it's 100% that the bans are actually going to carry over to Vanguard, but that is an article that was written on Gaming Bible. And then we'll get into what I've titled this video, and that is that Call of Duty Vanguard is the most hated game of 2021 already, and it's not even been released. And I'm going off a community post that I put out, and I said, which game will be the biggest letdown this year? Far Cry 6, 5%. Battlefield 2042, 8%. Halo Infinite, 7%. Guardians of the Galaxy, 14%. Call of Duty Vanguard, 65%. And that is based off 13,000 votes. And I don't think this is people just jumping on wagons and, oh, I see that's got the highest percentage, I'm voting with that one. I truly feel that a lot of people are against Call of Duty Vanguard, possibly because of Activision and all the stuff they've been under fire for. I'm not going to go into detail with that stuff. All you got to do is just search Activision, you'll find out what's going on there. But not only that, another post from Gaming Bible mentions that people feel Call of Duty Vanguard is just Modern Warfare, and it's got a World War II skin. And in some ways, I do agree with it. I've played the beta myself. I've had a decent amount of experience on it. The thing that really annoys me about it personally is you go to the main menu of the game. I know a lot of people are going to see this as nitpicking, but it's a lot deeper than just a main menu selection. You go to the main menu of Call of Duty Vanguard, and you have Call of Duty Vanguard, you have Warzone, you have Black Ops Cold War, and you have Call of Duty Modern Warfare. You have 4 selections of stuff to play from that main menu. That annoys me because it shows you how much these games are all integrated with each other, and it also shows a lot of laziness from the developers behind these games, because when it comes to Modern Warfare releasing and then Black Ops Cold War the following year, they started doing the integration stuff. Not only have they messed with Warzone on a high level, but also if you load up Black Ops Cold War, or if I loaded up Black Ops Cold War, but I did that to play Warzone, it would never let me load it. I had to load Modern Warfare to play Warzone. But not only that, once you get past that main menu and you get to the menus of Vanguard, you have pretty much an identical UI to Modern Warfare, to Warzone, to Black Ops Cold War. I know it's all the same developers, all the same publisher. I know it's the same series of game. But it never used to be like that with Call of Duty. It used to be you'd get your Modern Warfares, you'd get your Black Ops, and then Sledgehammer come in with, what was it? I can't even remember. Advanced Warfare, that's the one. So they come in with their own game, and then all of a sudden, 2019 I think it was, I'm pretty sure it was, you had Modern Warfare come out, they released Warzone, and that's when it all started with the integration. It started with the laziness, because you don't need to do any extra developing, you don't need to do any code tweaking, you just need to change text and stuff, and just change the background image basically. It's a lot more simple to make these same UIs. And it's irritating because you get a new Call of Duty every single year, and it's starting to feel more like FIFA. When I say it feels like FIFA, I mean that in terms of, with every FIFA for the last 6 or 7 years, it's just simply been a roster update. They haven't made any changes to the game, and it feels very, very similar with the latest Call of Duties. As a lot of people have said, this new Call of Duty Vanguard feels like Modern Warfare from 2019, just with a World War II skin. There's not a lot of story to the characters. They even said in an interview from the developers themselves that there's not too much talking in the story from these characters, because what they've done is they've put most of the backstory to the characters in multiplayer. So they're trying to get everyone over to the multiplayer side of the game, just so that they can have that extended period of time with people playing the game. But not only that, when they did the integration, Black Ops Cold War, those guns have been placed in Warzone, and they are heavily favoured over the old guns because they're trying to push for people to buy their newer games. And it totally makes sense from a business point of view, but for the consumer, the player experience is not a good experience at all. There is lots and lots of fire under Activision from the developers because they don't do enough each year to change the game and make it feel any different. Modern Warfare is not set in World War II. Now they have Vanguard. All they've done is simply change the setting of the game. Put some new guns in there, put different maps in there. There's nowhere near as much development as I feel personally there should be with a Call of Duty game. Release them every year, and these developers are on a cycle. So it goes Treyarch, Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, then goes back through. So it used to be that every development company would get 3 years to work on the next Call of Duty, even though they were releasing annually. But then Sledgehammer messed that up with Vanguard because Black Ops Cold War wasn't supposed to release in 2020. It was supposed to be Sledgehammer Games, their next installment to the series, to the franchise. So I just think there's a lot of stuff that's controversial, and it is frustrating. In my opinion, I played the beta, I did enjoy it. The Call of Duty Vanguard, from my experience, was a good one. I had a texture glitch that got changed in a playlist update that got fixed. So they did put some work into it. But there is another thing that people are talking about, and that is a perk in the game. I don't know if they've removed it. I don't know anything about this. I'm just reading it from an article. I haven't looked too much into the perk system at all. I've just simply been playing. But there is a perk, or was a perk, called Radar. And that would pop people up on the minimap when they fired an unsilenced weapon. That has been a core feature, a fundamental feature in Call of Duty for years. So for them to go back and change it, or not even go back and change it, for them to change it and take that classic feature out of the game and put it in as a perk, that's annoyed a lot of players. Not only that, there has been issues with the developers going, we're not having factions in the game, we're having a simple Team A, Team B. That's not gone down well because there is no separate factions, so all the outfits and stuff, they are very similar for all characters in a multiplayer match, and therefore it's causing a lot of confusion. People are sitting next to enemies and not realising that they are enemies. People are trying to shoot their friendly, like their allies, their teammates, because there are no factions. And people are screaming out about this, but I don't think they're going to do a lot in terms of fixing all this stuff and making it a better experience. People are getting mad because the MP5 from Modern Warfare has just had another nerf in Season 5. There's a lot of stuff going on. But another one, and I spoke to Sean, the member of the channel, supported the channel for years, good friend of mine. He said that he can't play Warzone anymore because I think it was dev error 5573. And I said I'd load it up and I would try and force this error because I don't care too much for Warzone, I don't play it. But I said I'd load it up and I would try and get this error to happen to me so I can show people that it happens, all that sort of stuff. And I loaded it up, I sat there and played 2 games of Warzone, then I closed it down. I messaged Sean, I was like, I just can't get into it. For me personally, Warzone, I can't be dealing with it. But dev error the 5573, what happens is you get some of the Black Ops Cold War weapons that got integrated into Warzone. I think it's the MG82 or something like that, the Pellington 703. There are a couple of weapons. If you put them in your loadouts, if you pick them up off the floor, like when you're looting and stuff, it can cause this dev error. The biggest problem with that is this error has been around for about 6 months. They haven't actually done anything. They're aware of it. They acknowledged it as soon as people started filing reports. But they still, to this day, around 6 months later, because it started around the time Season 4 started, and it's obviously in Season 5 now, and they still haven't fixed it. So what's happened now is Sean can no longer play on his primary account because every time he goes to load it, he gets dev error 5573. He can't get into the game to take the guns out of his loadout, to try different things to work around it because it just doesn't load in. His only option, after spending not only a lot of time but a lot of money on skins and weapon bundles and stuff, he cannot get on, and he's had to make a new account, or he had to make a new account in order to just load up Warzone and play with his mates. That's been going on for half a year, and they still haven't put a fix out for it. So there's a lot of stuff going on within Call of Duty. They're releasing new games every single year. They don't feel too much different. They just change a few things here and there. The UI's been the same for the last 3 years. It's just becoming one of those things where Activision, like everyone in the community, or just like people in the community, feel Activision need to do something to make these games feel different, to make them play better, especially when people are spending their money on them, but they're not doing anything. They are just going with the typical AAA, putting a bad name on the gaming industry, and they're just releasing what they want to release. They're not listening to players and taking all the feedback on board and stuff. They've got a lot of controversy around them. And that's why, looking at my poll, which game's going to be the biggest letdown, some people did put, how can it be a letdown if it's not already released? Like, it was basically a question, which game do you think will be the biggest letdown of this year? After 13,000 votes, 65% of people have said Call of Duty Vanguard. So, as I said, from my experience, I felt the gameplay was alright. They do need to change a couple of things in my opinion. Skill-based matchmaking, SBMM, that is an absolute nightmare. You can go into one game, do alright, go into the next one, you get battered because you did well in your previous game. Then you get battered, it's going to put you back to playing against people with a lower skill level, so you do really good and you're back and forth. There's no consistency. It kicks you out of the lobby after every single game. I haven't liked that at all. I used to really enjoy the older Call of Duties where you finish a match, you go into the lobby, you've got previous map, next map, or random map, and you get to vote in the little system. Then you play the next map with the same teams. If you're doing bad or something, you'd back out. If someone else on another team's doing bad, they back out, and it fills up the lobby, you go back into the game. But one of the biggest problems for me personally are the spawns. You have different variants to the game modes. You've got Assault, Tactical, and Blitz, and each one has a different player count. And it's just annoying. You go into a small map, you've got like 14 against 14, so it's really hectic, and you're just spawning inside each other. Picture the old like Nuketown days or Shipment from Modern Warfare, but that's what you've got in all of the game modes on this game. But I feel the spawns are actually worse. And back in Modern Warfare, there were players moaning about the camera angles because there were times where you couldn't see anyone around a corner, but they killed you because the different points of view, the different angles of the cameras, it feels bad because there are times where you can see someone, kill them, they have no idea you're there. And then you can be on the back foot of it as well. That's happened to me several times in Vanguard, in the beta. And also just the spawns in general. I spawn in, I turn around, there's 2 of my teammates spawned in right next to me, and there's an enemy just running in from the next room. It spawns you like 5-10 meters away from some enemies. It can be really, really bad. So that's my opinions. And yeah, I really do believe, based on the poll and all of the articles, there's been plenty of articles put out about this. Obviously, it's all publicity and stuff. There's going to be a lot of people playing the game. I'm probably going to pick it up myself and play it. I did enjoy the beta. But I believe, based on the community, even though a lot of people will still play it, voting for it being the biggest letdown this year, 65% after 13k votes is something you have to pay attention to. So I put some opinions out there, read some articles, and grabbed some extra stuff for the video, and that's going to wrap it up. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed it.